I'm Jim Gary at Batilipi's Workshop. Today is part 3 of showing how I replaced the front flexible brake hoses on my 25-year-old Workhorse-based motorhome. Flexible brake hoses can look fine on the outside but still fail, especially when they're as old as mine are. Because the motorhome has ABS brakes, there are 7 in total front flexible hoses that I had to replace that were hard to get to, but you'll see all that in this video. We have had constant thunderstorms and rain this past week. This has been the season the cicadas can be deafening too, so I apologize for all the background noises you'll hear. Please be aware that I'm a biologist, not a professional mechanic, and I'm showing you what I did, not what I think you should do. So please consult a professional before attempting similar projects. If you're interested, there are links to my other videos in the description below, including parts 1 and 2 of the flexible brake hose project from my motorhome. So please like and subscribe. Now let's get on with the video. So I'm heading out to Tubes and Hoses of Lakeland to get the brake lines that go to the ABS. They're all made up and ready for me to pick up. So I'm headed out my driveway at 7:35 a.m. They open at 8. Looks like they're getting ready to plant strawberries across the street. Beautiful sunrise. Off we go. So here we are, getting close. It's called Tubes and Hoses. There we are, Tubes and Hoses. So here's my new and old tubes on the counter. Here's some examples of the automotive hydraulic tubes they do in the shop. It's amazing. Here's the original tubing. So this end was the ABS. It's 9/16 by 18, short piece of flex. And then this is the side that goes into the, I believe, the master cylinder. And here's the new one. The guy was nice enough to bend it for me and everything. So it's 9/16 to 9/16. And I've already transferred this organizer separator over. So that's the first one. Here's another one that was attached to the ABS down here, 9/16. This is the one I cut off. So this is the one that went to my caliper. And I had to cut it. He put a new piece on. Again, he did a great job. He bent it for me. And instead of using straight steel, he used the alloy one, which I've used before when I put all new brake lines on my 48 Triumph Roadster. This is really easy to bend just with your hands. And this goes from the ABS unit out to the master cylinder. So here's the one he made for me. Again, it's pretty close, so I'm happy with that. So here's the short one that went from the ABS system here, and it goes to a female here that fits through that frame member we talked about. And here's the one he made to replace it, so it's good. These match up. And here's the last of the flexible hoses. And here's the replacement. These go to the rear brakes. All that looks good. So this goes to the back brake. And again, I can't put these in the wrong hole here because they have different, at the ABS, because they have different threads. And this is 1/4 inch, this is 3/16 tube that runs down to the back brakes, and this is the one that goes to the right front brake. And we've already tested that tubing fits it. So there we go. We've got everything figured out. So we just have to crawl under the RV and start putting these back in. So I'm putting in the short line that goes out to the right front calipers. So it's a 3/8 inch thread, goes in this top middle one here. You want to be careful when you put these in that you get them in easily by hand so you don't cross thread anything. And with hydraulic hoses, you don't have to put Teflon or any sealant on them. You just snug them down. And if you watched part 2 of this, you saw that I really didn't have to, they weren't that hard to loosen up. I think that's good. Now the second one here is the one that goes out to the rear brakes. So I'm threading it in by hand, making sure it goes in. That's good. It's a 1/2 inch wrench. Yeah, it's 1/2 inch. It's starting to snug up. Again, I'm not going to go crazy tight. I think that's good. Now I've got the clips that go on to snap the other side in, which you can't see from there. So I'm going to move the camera. I think that shows it. So let me see if I can get a clip on. So here's one of the older clips. That went on nicely there. That went on nicely there. So those are solid. So I'm ready to put the one I've called number 1 in. I just had to figure out how to lead it in here. But I think I got it. So I'm just gonna try to get it screwed in. I believe it goes right into this hole here. Again, I want to get it screwed in by hand most of the way so I know it's in there right. And I believe it is. And that's a 9/16 wrench. Again, you don't want to tighten the heck out of it, but because it wasn't that tight to begin with. So there it is. The hard part's going to be remembering how it all ran through here, but I have lots of videos for that, so I'll figure it all out. So now there's only 2 more to put in here. So I've got the last 2 hoses in. I've covered them with tape so I wouldn't get grime in them. One's a 1/2 inch and the other's 9/16 inch. So it looks like the 9/16 goes on top. Thread that in by hand, and the 1/2 inch goes in the bottom hole here. So I get that started by hand. Again, it's really important to get these as far in as you can by hand to make sure you haven't cross-threaded them. That would be a disaster. If you had to replace the ABS module, they're really expensive. So I'm going to tighten the top one first. Again, I'm not going to make it crazy tight, just snug, good tight like it felt like when I took them off. That's good. I need a 1/2 inch wrench. Take the bottom one. Yep. I'm just having trouble seeing it from the back here. Okay, it's starting to tighten down. I think that's good. So I'm not going to put the shield back up here until after I pressurize the system and have it all going, because I'll be wanting to check up here for leaks once I refill everything with hydraulic fluid. So that's good for now. I'm on the left. So these are the new hoses or brake tubes we put in from the ABS module. They come around here and there's a bolt and a clip that hold them on here. So that's what I'm going to do. But before that, I'm going to put a little bit of chafe gear around them. So I've got this split tubing. If I didn't have the flares on here, I could put the spring type on, but these were pre-made by that guy, so I can't do that. This is a little big. These are 3/8 inch tubing. So I got the first 2 on. Here's the last one. I think these are hard to put on because they're old, but they're all on. Now I've got to look at where these are all going to go. 2 go to the master cylinder, and one of them goes right up here and clips on. So one's 3/8 and the other one's, this looks like a 1/2 and this looks like 9/16. So here's the flexible hose. Ah, there. I see, it's got a key in it. There's a little keyed spot. So put that key in, and here's the clip. Just tap that in. That's in there good. I believe this is the one that goes in there. I'll double check it, but I think it's the only one. Do 7/16 to tighten that. So the engineers, when they designed these hoses, did a pretty good job because they used a lot of different size bolt nuts or wrenches you need, I guess, to put on the fittings. A lot of them you would be putting them in the wrong way. So that's pretty tight. You get a wrench on the one below to make sure. You have the 5/8 on the bottom. Trying to snug this down. Okay, that's good.
Let's look at the schematic of the brake lines again. The section colored in blue was rusty, as was the section in red. So we need to replace both of those sections.
So this is the hose that runs from the short hose that comes from the ABS unit part that comes out by the front right wheel hub. And this is where the flexible hose that goes actually to the calipers actually connects. So it would connect in like here. The problem I have with this is it's really badly rusted. And you can see right in here how bad it is. Probably a 1/16 of an inch eaten away here, and probably more than that right around here. So I'm going to replace it. So this is 3/16 inch tubing. So I've got some 3/16 tubing. Bought it on Amazon, random brand. I just bought it. Yeah, but I did want the nickel copper type because I've used it before. I had to replace all the hard lines on my old Triumph Roadster, my 1948 Roadster, and I used this same kind, and it really was easy to work with. Pull it out and see. comes with some fittings as well. So it gives me 7/16 by 24, 9/16 by 18, 3/8 by 24, and 1/2 by 20. So all kinds of sizes, and the size that we need, this end is 24, and I believe it's 3/8 by 24. So let's take out a 3/8 by 24. The difference is it's got a little tiny nut on it, whereas this one had a big nut. That means it should fit into the flexible hose that's going to go to the caliper. Let's just double check. Yep. Fits right in there. So I want to get an approximate size. So I'm going to cut off about 40 inches of this. This is really nice stuff to work with because you can just bend it really easily and it doesn't rust. So this is where we're going to cut that mark. The other thing is I'm going to have to cut this fitting off of here because I want to transfer the spring protection over to the new one as well. And since I have plenty of room, I'm going to use my bigger cutter. Open it up, put it around where you're going to cut. Tighten it. And you've got to be careful because sometimes you want it to cut round and round, but sometimes it'll start spiraling off. And have one round. Then I'll turn it in a bit. If you don't turn it enough, it might spiral off. Turning it enough to hopefully not do that. There it goes. Put this aside. And then I'm going to cut this end off. Off goes the spring. You can buy this spring. In fact, I've ordered some, but for some other things I'm going to do on the RV, but this will do for now. I'll just reuse this. Okay. So you've always got to make sure you put the nipple on. So this is the critical bend. It's more than 90 degrees. I just tested it on a piece of scrap and I was able to match it pretty well, but just in case, let's do it first because I did it one time and it actually flattened the tubing. So we're not even worried about the flare yet. I'm going to leave about 4 inches so that we have room. But let's see if we can do this, and I want this line to be right about there. So I think we're good. I think I can just take it around. And what I did is I just wrapped it around, so you just cross the handles a little bit. Beautiful, exact right dimensions we wanted. And I want the flare to be ending at 2 1/4 inches, but the flare takes up about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. So we want a little less than 2 1/2 inches. I'm gonna cut it right there. Boy, that rain is really picking up, isn't it? And around, and around, and around. So there it is. So the next thing is to deburr around the cut on the outside. Just use this bit of sandpaper. Then I deburr the inside. This tubing is so small it's hard to fit a regular deburring tool, but I just use a countersink.
With a double flare, you're putting in a regular flare and then bending that flare inward so the flare is double thick and thus much stronger than a single flare.
So the next thing is to set this up in the 3/16 slot, which is this one. It's the small one. Put a little bit of pressure on it, and it's supposed to stick out about the same as the shoulder on this. It's a little bit too much. Okay, that's about right. So I'm just going to crank this down. It's got little serrations in it to hold it because you don't want the tube to slide out when you're flaring it. And then I'm taking the 3/16 adapter, putting it in there, and then the crimping tool or the flaring tool goes in, and the tip fits into the recess in that adapter. And then I look to make sure it's square. So now I'm going to turn it until the shoulder hits the metal bar here. That's the first flare. That's as far as it's going to go. When it comes off, the adapter comes out, then you put the flaring tool back without the adapter. And this is double flaring it. It's putting the flare. I think that's about right. So there's the flare, there's the original. Looks pretty good to me. I've never had a flare fail that I've done on these with these things.
There's a spring protector on the old tube that protects it where it comes out toward the right hub. So I'm transferring that to the new tube.
It's easy to bend. I'm just gonna bend it here, which would be about here. So we want this bend from this angle to go pretty much down. Take this tape off. There we are. That should replace the old one.
This end of the new 1/4-inch tubing connects to the short flexible hose at the ABS module. It replaces the old rusty section. The other end goes along the inside frame to the junction that goes back to the rear brakes. Sorry, I only got the tail end of the attachment of the flexible hose. Here's where the new front right tubing connects to the short hose leading to the ABS module.
So I got the hose in there roughly where it's supposed to go, so I can take this tape off and thread it into here. Again, thread it in by hand as much as possible to be sure it's in there correct. And there's a 5/8 for the nut below. And that's pretty well snugged down. Again, I can come back later and tighten it if I need to.
Well, that about wraps it up. I didn't include all the details of reinstalling the new right front tubing section I made, and I didn't show at all the installation of the right rear tubing section that I made in the video. But I hope you found this video interesting. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe. Bye.